In this video, I want to talk about a gem I made called Supermail, which is a way to, or I should say, a better way to deal with email in your Rails application. I actually made this for the Flex on Rails video course website because I just got annoyed at remembering Rails action mailer. So if we look at Rails action mail, I thought, a lot of levels of indirection in here to try to send an email. So you have to do this generator. You have this thing called an application mailer, and then you have to remember there's a layout for it, and there's like all this stuff that you have to deal with, right? Like there's a welcome email, there's parameters, there's this weird mail method that you call. There's just a lot going on here that just felt way too complex for what I needed. So I created Supermail, and this is what an email looks like there. You just have basically one email per class. So you have a folder called app emails, application emails, the base class, and you can put whatever kind of the basics are in there. And then you can use this thing. Now, what's different about this from Rails is that you can actually use this to generate mail to links on the client side, which I'll get to in a demo. And speaking of demo, let's just go ahead and jump into that. So um, if you go to beautifulruby.com, it'll redirect you to this website. And throughout, I just have various different email touch points. So if we look for workshop in here, custom team workshops. So this video, you can buy it now on the website. It's a couple $100 if you hit purchase. You go through that and it'll show you how you can use Flex to have server-side components on your Rails application. But I want to have workshops, and workshops are really different. There's companies that maybe they have some goal of shipping faster, so may want quality. So there's no one size fits all for this. So obviously I want people to email me. So I've created this link. It's a mail to link. If we click on that, you can see it fills this out with all this stuff already. And if we look at the source for this thing, it is just a mail to link. This has been around forever. So it's an A link, you have mail to in there, and it launches the email client and it pre-fills all this stuff. Now, where things get a little bit different, if we dive into the source code on this, let's go ahead and open up the course layout. We have this link here. This is very different. If you're used to Rails, there is a mail to link, but I actually create an instance of a workshop email, and then I can pull the mail to link off of that. So let's take a look at what a workshop email looks like. It looks a lot like what we saw in my email client, right? Hey, I'm interested in for my team. So um, who is this to? Well, it's to from, and we'll jump into this in a minute. The rest is pretty straightforward, right? We have a subject and a body. Um, this preview is something I was playing around with. I'm not actually using that yet. But let's have a look at application email. That's kind of the base email where everything's coming from. All right, so you can see here, this is from website at beautifulruby.com. That's just my my default email, and that's what's going on here, right? Because if I'm sending this from the server, it's from the website. But if I'm showing this to you in a browser, then you're actually sending that to the website. So that's what's going on here, and that's why I flipped that out. And then, of course, everything here is defaulted. I have a layout going on there. So that is how I generate mail to links. Now let's look at what it looks like to send an email from the server out. All right, so in Payment Controller, whenever you successfully pay for a course, you go through the checkout flow. That's like a one-click buy with Apple Checkout or whatever through Stripe. You will end up on this action. And if the payment status is paid, then I create the seats, I do all this fun stuff, and then I want to send an email. So let's have a look at what a payment email looks like. And one thing to note is these files are in app emails. So let me close all these. So server app emails, and we have all these Supermail classes. All right, so here we go. We've got a Ruby class. We just initialize it with payment. We don't have any of that silly params business or whatever it is that Rails does. It's just here's a class. Here's all the stuff that we need to have inside of it. We're going to send it to the payment person in the email. I CC myself because I like to say hi to my customers in the email. So if they CC, then I chime in later. I get that on my email client. It's nice to keep things personal. So that's one way of doing it. And then, of course, you have a body we call super. Which, if you remember from application email, that just puts the stuff around it. So the stuff inside the super block is rendered here, and then we can have the little signature at the end of that. Um, I want to have templating in this eventually. Right now, it's just plain text. I don't need that yet. This is fine for me. I actually still prefer this. But anyway, you can see here, I say, hey, thanks for so much for purchasing the course. And then I can do some checks here, right? Like, oh, there's a bunch of seats. Okay, we'll tell the person that they can access all their courses at this link. If it's just one, then I'm assuming that the course is for themselves. So I just send them a direct link to that. This is more like if you buy, say, 5 videos for everybody in your team, I'll send you a link to that. And then, of course, I want to have a URL to the Stripe receipt. This would actually redirect to that. And then I tell the person, like, hey, you can sign in using your email address. Actually, activate your browser with your email address. So you can see all the different links that I have here. There's some client side links. I have a welcome email, the workshop email, that's the client side one. This is my activation email. So whenever you want to activate your browser, I send this email out with your activation link. So you click on it, and then if the link opens in the same browser, then your session is active and you can access your course. So that is how I use Supermail in the Flex on Rails website at beautifulruby.com. And of course, if you want to check this out and try it in your gem, you can get it at github.com/beautifulruby/supermail. I think this is just a much more sane way of dealing with emails and Rails. I don't have to remember how to call this thing. There's just way less levels of indirection. And then, of course, I get the benefit of, do I want to send this thing out from the server, or do I want to generate a mail to link? So there's just a lot more things that you can do with this email that you just can't quite do that inside of Rails Action Mailer without digging seriously into some documentation. And I just keep forgetting. I cannot remember all the different parts of this. So check it out. It's pretty useful. There are actually still a few features I think that I put on here. Right now, it just supports plain text. So there's like component support, view paths, and rendering and HTML support. I have all these things out here. So if you want to use this for your project and you want to add support for that, open a PR on here and I'll check it out.